Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Eugene. Hello, Zoom friends. It's great to be together again. Our tech team will drop a copy of the order of service and a visitor form in the chat. And a little later in the service, you'll have a chance to drop your joys and sorrows in the chat as well. My name is Heidi Gould. I use the pronouns she and her. I am wearing a white blouse, gray slacks, and I have short silver hair and glasses. And I'm wearing my rainbow tie-dyed worship associate stole. And I am your worship associate today. This may be your first time hearing pronouns and visual descriptions, so let me take a moment to let you know why many of us want to use these things when introducing ourselves. We use visual descriptions for those whose eyesight is impaired. This is just one way that we affirm the diversity of our gatherings. We say our preferred name and pronouns so that all of us can express who we are in the fullness of our humanity. Although we've been doing this for years, it is especially important while we are witnessing the wide-scale erasure of trans and gender diverse identities by the federal government. Many of us feel like we're living through a terrible storm. A storm of uncertainty and chaos, a storm of fear and anxiety, a storm of grief and loss. This morning, let us talk to one another as we share our challenges and our sources of hope. Keith, if you would be so kind as to come light our chalice. While I share these words from Ben Sewell, a lifelong Unitarian Universalist and worship associate from... Oh, dang it. Okay, thanks. Always something. Ben Sewell, he is a lifelong Unitarian Universalist and a worship associate from Lexington, Massachusetts. And he says, "We light this chalice, the symbol of our faith, knowing that this morning many others across this land and around the world are doing the same. For us and our far-flung kin, it is a light of peace, of justice, and of love." And now, let us say together the words of our mission, which affirm our shared purpose. Empowered by love, we transform ourselves and serve our world. Blessed be.
In Oregon, we have a deep, deep, deep knowledge and expertise on rain and storms, don't we? That's something that we can pretty much say we're all experts on. So we're going to use some of that knowledge today. My name is Ryan Doppelmayr. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a white woman with short brown hair wearing black and red today. And usually I take this time to invite kids or anyone up to hear a story. But today we're doing something a little different. So I'm going to ask folks to stay in their seats. But I'm going to need everyone's help today because we're going to make some rain. We're good at getting soggy, right? And it's important to keep in mind that rain is so important, even if we get a little tired of it, right? It keeps the valley that we live in beautiful and lush and green and helps those plants grow to clean that air that we need. But sometimes, it can just feel like too much, right? Anyone feeling that way lately? Yeah. Sometimes the water, it just keeps rising and rising and rising. You see the banks of the river and you think, are we going to get washed away? But today, we're going to face the rain together, and then we're going to send it on its way. okay? So we're going to do a little practice first. And I'm going to do a little demonstration that I'd like you to join me with if you can. We're going to start with some sounds, simple sounds. First, just rubbing our hands together. Excellent, excellent. Now we're doing a little snapping. A little snap, can. We're going to slap those thighs. And then we're going to stomp those feet. Perfect. I knew you could do it. But now we're also going to do it in reverse. So we're going to move from stomping to slapping. See, I already mixed it up. To snapping and then rubbing. So the tricky part is you need to watch, because I'm going to lead you around so we can hear the waves of the storm come around with us. And I think if the storm gets really intense, some thunder might even break out. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to go around our little circle here, and when I pass you, you're going to start the action or the motion that I'm doing. So not until I catch up with you. And then when we get all the way around, we'll switch it up. So you guys are going to still be doing something while we switch to something else. I think we can handle this. All right, let's go. Thank you, Rainmakers. Thank you. Hopefully we can take a deep cleansing breath if we can. Feel washed by that rain. And now I'm going to invite kids, if they'd like, to join me for a lesson in the chapel. To join me back there, we're going to be talking about covenants today. But if you're a kiddo and want to stay in the service, that's always okay too. All right, thank you very much.
My name is Jen Youngsun Rue. I'm the minister that serves this beautiful congregation. I use the pronouns she and her. Today I'm wearing all black, but I've got a bright blue stole on with some symbols of a spiral and sunshine and rivers. Your heart is the dwelling place for loving kindness. Like any dwelling place, it requires some regular housekeeping. Spiritual practices, like this metta practice, helps to sweep out the dust and the cobwebs. So first, find a posture of ease and dignity. Imagine looking at yourself with love, acceptance, and kindness. Sometimes I find it easy if I imagine myself as a 3-year-old. And somehow I can be a little more kind and loving toward that person. Imagine smiling at yourself, feeling an abundance of forgiveness and acceptance and love. And now say to yourself, may I be happy. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be peaceful and at ease. And now that you have brought these lovely feelings to conscious awareness, send that loving kindness to the people in your life who are easy to love. Picture them in your mind's eye. They bring a smile to your face instantly, don't they? Oh, may you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. By now, we have gathered an abundance of compassion, and loving kindness is bubbling and ready to overflow. Now, direct that energy to people that you don't know very well. Maybe you feel neutral toward them. These are temporary strangers. The person who lives down the street that you don't see very often, or the one that you see here at church but haven't had a chance to meet yet. Bring those people into your mind's eye and say to them, may you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. You have so much loving kindness to share. There is no end to it. Send it now to all the humans and all the more than humans of this world. And wish them happiness. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. And then finally, as you are able, send loving kindness to someone that you are having a hard time liking. Maybe you even hate them. But remember, this is a human being just like you. Bring them to your mind and say to them, may you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. And may you be peaceful and at ease. Together, we have generated so much loving kindness in this room. May all the world be at peace. Amen. We are a community of doers, aren't we? Sitting still is kind of uncomfortable for some of us. I mean, look at all the dots that are on the justice thermometer. You know, it's on the other side of this wall. It's the big poster near the restrooms on the other side of this wall. It's our justice action thermometer, where every time you do something that, you know, saves democracy, you just put a little dot on it. And look at the volume of emails that our direct action channel is inspiring. I mean, yes, it's inspiring. It's also exhausting. I think some of you have even dropped off that email list because you said, it's too much, it's too much. We are doing so much these days to protest and speak out against our national leaders who are hoarding all of this power for themselves. We are taking action to protect and shelter the things that we hold most dear. We human beings can easily fall into the trap of overdoing or falling into utter despair. At the end of all of this doing, here is a place where you can come. You can come back to this place, and here we can rest our weary bones upon the shoulder of another. We come back here to sing and cry and lament. We come back here to remember that we are a people of faith, and to remember the source of our faith so that we can go back out into the world renewed. Of course, the storms of political unrest and a world that feels like it's constantly shifting underneath our feet, they aren't the only storms going on in our lives, right? Some of the storms that we're going through are very personal, very intimate. And the reason that we're sitting in a circle today is because we want to give an opportunity to listen to one another. So what are the storms that you're living through right now? What are the storms in your life? Joe and Heidi are going to go around with the mic. And I closed my laptop, but I'm also hoping to monitor the chat as well on Zoom. So what are some of the storms?
Financial insecurity.
Divorce, an international move, dropping out of seminary, selling my house, all at once.
Dealing with my son's volatile mental health.
Well, I'm not expecting my first grandchild, but my son's wife is expecting my first grandchild, and they live in Virginia. So I'm going to be doing the grandmother across the country thing, so that's going to be a challenge for me.
Just existing as a trans person and trying to be happy.
I'm going on a trip to see my mother, who is almost 99, in Philadelphia, and 2 siblings and their wives, Easter weekend. And I'm scared about traveling, basically, so, yeah. But I'm going to be strong, and I'm going to pray a lot.
Fear and worry for our trans daughter living overseas, not sure when or how we'll ever be able to see her again.
So I am experiencing both students and colleagues at the University of Oregon who are either international colleagues and students and trans students who are trying to find ways to leave the country, even at great personal cost to their degrees or their jobs. And it's just deeply, deeply saddening.
Let me chime in here with one from the Zoom. Caring for my husband with dementia who lives in terrible fear. Also, sadness for Mariah's growing confusion, feeling powerless, unable to help her, worried for the future of Medicaid and Social Security. Let's just take two more from the back. Thank you.
So worry and prayers for my sister who is having surgery for breast cancer this week.
Worry about the uncertainty for our Ukrainian families.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I know that there is a lot more to share. I invite you to stay during coffee hour and just share these with each other. There's an inevitability to storms in life, right? But these days, it just feels so much more of everything. And at the same time, we are entering into a brand new season. The vernal equinox invites us to pay attention to the fact that there is now an equal amount of sunlight and nighttime, right? There's day and night. We're finally at that point, a beautiful balance. Yes, there are storms and the earth still spins. Yes, there are storms and the spring returns with buds and bird song and drenching rain and greening grass. And so in this season of spring and growing light, what are the sources of hope for you? Where are you seeing little peaks of sunlight? Where do you see signs of new life emerging?
If you drive down from Harrisburg, there are daffodils for, I think, about 10 miles.
Being energized with interactions with friends and even strangers.
This week on the Indivisible call with the National Indivisible Leaders, they announced that in the week since their last call, from Thursday to Thursday, they had 100 new resistance groups form.
I want to thank all the UUCE members that came out to the Chad VA 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I find hope in the in-between spaces, the places where we don't normally look, the spaces between daytime and nighttime, the space between an adrenaline rush from something bad that happened and the next moment, the spaces in between our words that hold the spirit of our love and of our thoughts. Everything that is too big to fit into the universe lives in those spaces in between. And I have deep hope for us discovering the power of those in-between spaces.
Thank you so much. I think I saw a few hands in the back. And we have a few other sources of hope from our Zoom friends. bring tulips, silver falls.
All the pies people brought to Pie Day was an inspiration to me.
Pie fixes everything.
Almost.
Almost.
I was very emotional because my main beehive survived. There's hundreds of bees coming out. They're bringing in the pollen, which means there's a queen, and it's absolutely a miracle.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, I want to just invite you all, if you want to get up and kind of move around a little bit. Come on. If you want to, you don't have to. You don't have to. Yeah. So earlier, the choir sang this beautiful song. It was amazing. They sang, "I have struggled through the rain, felt the sting of every pain. Do I take a step and follow? Do I trust that all is well? If I dance with the storm, if I dance with the storm, I'll be safe in your arms. I can see past tomorrow. I can feel all of your love. Friends, together we can dance with the storm." So we are a radically inclusive congregation, right? And that means that we have a chance to constantly be meeting brand new friends. We're always having an opportunity to deepen relationships with each other, and we always have a chance that when we say we know who we are, and we know that each day it means one more, right? And so I am happy today to introduce to you the newest members of our UUCE congregation. Not all of them were able to be with us today, but I'm going to call their names. Their photos will be in the newsletter, and we have cake. So please come afterwards and meet them. They're all seated kind of right in this general area. And so I want to just call out the names. We have Linda Kelly, Keith Brown, Tristan Elliott, Esther Johnston, Marilyn O'Malley, Michael Peterson, and Bobby Valentine. Welcome, everyone. Really glad you're here. So now let us prepare to say our words of covenant. But first, I just want to say, friends, you know that when you joined the church and when you signed the membership book, you did not sign on to a set of creeds or doctrine. Instead, you made sacred promises, and we are making sacred promises all together. And those sacred promises we call covenant. And so let's say the words of our covenant together. As a beloved community, empowered by love, we covenant to embrace the next person who is always arriving, open to the change they will bring. We covenant to trust others in their identity and truth and work to be trustworthy. We covenant to speak our truth bravely and gently as we commune in love and peace. We covenant to make efforts to understand the views of others and make amends when intentions and impact collide. We covenant to expand our connections with the larger community with humility and empathy. We covenant to remember that how we are with each other is the foundation upon which we build the beloved community. Welcome, everyone. Congratulations. And now let's say together our closing words as Heidi extinguishes our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not like truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Friends, if here you have found freedom, take it with you into the world. If you have found comfort here, go and share it with others. If you have dreamed dreams, then help one another that they may come true. And if you have known love here, my friends, give some back to a bruised and hurting world. Go in peace. Go in love.